Recently, there's been quite a fuss in Hong Kong over the use of a certain song during overseas sports events. On November 13, 2022, during a Rugby Sevens tournament held in South Korea, when the time comes to play the national anthem of the playing teams, this song played. Now, let me be clear here. This is not Hong Kong's national anthem. Technically, we don't have one. According to the basic law, Hong Kong has its own flag, emblem, currency, and a lot of other things, but not an anthem. Despite being its own individual entity on the global theater, like the World Trade Organization and Olympic Games. But that is not what this video is about. Today, we are talking about the song. Over the past 180 years, Hong Kong has fell under the rule of multiple regimes. The convention has always been, use the national anthem of whoever owns us now, which means God Save the King or the Queen for 150 odd years, Kimi Gayo from Imperial Japan for a few years, and for the last 25 years, March of the Volunteers, national anthem of the PRC, which, by the way, sounds like this. If you look back in history, playing the wrong anthem isn't exactly rare. After all, there's a lot of countries and a lot of anthems in the world. So, what's the big deal? Why are government officials and councillors freaking out over this? Well friends, welcome to the wonderful world of politics, where the nonsensical makes sense because making sense is simply not in their job description. First off, we need to know what this song actually is. Unless you have been living under a rock, you probably know what happened here in Hong Kong back in 2019. And this is Glory to Hong Kong, a song born in the time of conflict and social unrest. It's intimately related to the protests. Some even call it the new Hong Kong anthem. If something is to play in the protest, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be Glory to Hong Kong. Naturally, after a citywide crackdown on the protests, the song becomes sort of a taboo, as it represents a time of unrest and rebellion. So, what happens when Glory to Hong Kong replaces March of the Volunteers in a semi-official event?
And now we will listen to National Anthem of Hong Kong, China.
Oh boy, it's gonna be fun. So the government was like, we will look into the matter and take appropriate action. The pro-Beijing camp was furious. This is a matter of national security. The enemy of the state is trying to undermine us overseas. The pro-Democrat also said this. Oh wait, according to this, apparently they don't exist anymore. Whoops. There's also the Sports Federation and Olympic Committee, but we'll get back to them later. The organizer of the tournament, when asked, finally responds, oh, we got the song off Google. Of course, Google, the algorithm. How could I forget our internet overlord? Turns out, if you enter Hong Kong anthem and press search on Google, the top results are Glory to Hong Kong. Yo Google, what the heck is this? Why are you putting the protest song above the actual anthem? Fix this now. And Google, being the friendly company that it is, comply with the demand immediately. Of course not. Do you really think Google, who has a long history of dealing with the biggest government in the world, is gonna listen to your regional government? So Google basically goes, can't do nothing about it, it's all in the algorithm, you know? This would have been the end of the story. Our local government said they would do something about the global mega corporation, while knowing full well they can't. And everyone just keep their heads down and wait for this whole thing to blow over.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the National Anthem of Hong Kong.
Wait, what's that? A second one? And a third one for good measures? I can already hear everyone collectively exhale with their heads buried between their arms. Well, except Google, they really don't have a stake in this. And this is where the Sport Federation and Olympic Committee enter the picture. Right after the first incident, the SFOC actually issued a guideline detailing measures that should be taken to prevent misuse of the anthem. In the event that an error does occur, the team should immediately T-pose. Wait, that's not right. Oh, the team should immediately make a T sign with their hands in protest. Right. The team's coach is also responsible for ensuring the correct anthem is used, which is easier said than done when you are a guest in a foreign country. There's also a very good chance you don't speak their language. The best one could do is probably handing a USB drive to a staff member who may or may not understand you and just cross your fingers. Mind you, these aren't grand events like the Olympics that has the budget of a small country. The organizers, like the Asian Powerlifting Federation, runs on limited funding and often rely on volunteers. While this is not an excuse for the mistake they make, I think this should paint a more accurate picture. Instead of some shady scheme to undermine China on the global theater, it's probably an amateur googling a Hong Kong anthem in a rush and just playing the first song they can find. So, after the Hong Kong ice hockey team scored an impressive 11-1 against Iran.
And now we will listen to National Anthem of Hong Kong, China.
The FSOC finally decides to speak. I'm sorry, Ice Hockey Association. We might have to cancel your membership because we think you didn't do enough to uphold the dignity of our country. It has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that we are funded by the government, which is definitely not full of pro-Beijing bootlickers. P.S. We are cutting your funding as well. Good luck taking care of your athletes. Love, SFOC. So, this is where things stand. The Ice Hockey Association and Sport Federation are fighting over who should take the fall for this. Google is still not returning phone calls, and the rest of the local sports association are left trembling with fear, knowing full well the authority is willing to throw them under the bus. We live in a time where pledging your allegiance is more important than doing your actual job, and it's really not something new. 2 out of 4 past chief executives go on to hold high-ranking positions in China after their term is over. Did they do a good job during their term? Pfft, no, but that's good enough. They just needed someone loyal to the party, a trend that has only been rising for the past 4 years, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. Alright kids, no more ice hockey. Time to practice your T-side. You never know when you might save your job.